Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to another video on the series of Unix systems, and in today's video we will continue solving lab 2 part 2. So in this video I'm going to show you how can we create a tree directory structure, followed by how to delete files and directories, in addition listing them, and also how to move files from one place to another. So without further ado, let's start. So here directly I'm going to start solving question 5, because from question 1 to question 4 they are pretty simple and easy and straight to the point, and I have covered that on my previous video, so please watch it, then come back here. Maybe the only thing that I didn't cover, which is how to go to the last directory that you entered. Let me show you how to do it, then we will continue solving question 5. So now here I am on my home directory. Let me first list all the content of it, and I have a directory called OPT. Let me go inside this directory first, then I'm gonna go back again to my home directory, then to use this command to the previous directory or the last directory that I have entered. Basically I'm going to use cd followed by a minus, and as you can see I'm back now into the OPT directory. That's basically how we can use this command, or how to go back to the last directory. Okay, now let's go back to question 5. We need to create a directory tree below, which is this one. The blue squares, let me zoom it for you. The blue squares represents the directories and the green squares represents the files. And take note that if we want to name something with spaces, we are going to use double strings, which is this one. And finally, we need to create a directory and its parent directories in just one command. So we are going to use this command mkdir using the argument -p. And if you are asking how did I know that, it's basically easy. Just access the manual page of it and you will get the answer. Now let's start creating our directory. Okay, now let's start. First let's create our lab directory, which is called lab2b. Then we are gonna go inside this directory. I'm gonna clear the page to avoid that messy and rubbish screen. Next we are going to use our command, which is mkdir followed by -p argument, or minus parent or parents. You can refer to the manual page. Then we are gonna write our main directory, which is called my stuff, followed by a slash. The reason why we have added a slash to identify the directory hierarchy, which means that we are saying that my stuff is a directory. Then we are gonna open two curly braces. This is basically for expansion. In this case we are using it so to allow us to create multiple directories and subdirectories. So we have 4 main directories inside my stuff, which is music, docs, games, and WMV5001. So music also is a directory, that's why we will add a slash, also for docs and for games. And for the last directory in the braces, we don't need to add a slash. It will understand that it's a directory. Now inside music, we want to have 3 directories. So we will open another two curly braces, closed, then a double string Van Morrison. The reason I have added double strings because we have a space. So we have also another way to do it is using a backward slash, using a backward slash without using strings. What this will do, it will ignore a space and it will print it in this way. But for the case of simplicity, we will just stick with strings. Comma, which means we want to add also another thing, which is U2 and Green Day. Now we want also inside this U2 two files. We'll open again two curly braces followed by these two files, which are called beautiful day.mp3 and 21 guns.mp3. Note, we don't need to use a slash here on these files because they are not a directory. We have done the first three of the music. Now let's go to docs. We'll open two curly braces and we want to add two directories. The first directory is called IT6004 and the second directory is ITB5005. So these are directories, and inside these directories we want to add a file called notes.txt, and also for this one notes.txt. Next, for games we also want two directories which are called Tetris followed by Warcraft. These are directories also, and inside this Tetris we want high scores.txt, which is a file, and inside Warcraft directory we want a file called cheatcodes.txt. Now let's run this command and see our output. First, list what's inside our directory. We have this directory called my stuff. Instead of going inside this directory, we can just free the directory, and let's see if our command is correct or not. Let's first refer to the image. We have a main directory called my stuff. Inside it we have music, docs, games, WMV5001, which are directories. Inside music we have three directories also, just called Van Morrison, U2 and Green Day. Inside U2 we have these two files, and so on for the others. Now let's go back and see if it's correct or not. So we start here with our main directory, which is called my stuff. Inside my stuff we have docs, games, music, WMV 5001. So let's check our first directory, which is called music. What's inside it? Inside it we have three main directories: Green Day, U2 and Van Morrison. Inside U2 we have these two files, so the music directory is correct. Now let's go for games. Inside games we have these two directories, and in these two we have these two files, which are again correct. And for For dogs the same, and so on. So let's go inside my stuff and do it manually to see how the files or directories created. So let's list, as you can see, let's go inside music, for example, and let's list the directory. And as you can see, we have achieved the correct output using the followed command. Let me again explain it. I know I'm going very fast, but I'm trying to make it as simple as possible without talking too much. So let's go and read the command again. So here we are using a command called mkdir, which will allow us to create a directory. We are using an argument -p followed by my stuff, which is our main directory, and we are using curly braces for the expansion. This will allow us to create directories and subdirectories in one line or in one command. Inside music, we have these three main directories: Van Morrison, U2, and Green Day. Inside U2, we have these two files. Now let's go for docs. This is the directory. We have opened the curly braces for it, and we have inside the docs two directories. Inside these directories we have their files, and so on for the other. That's how actually we do it. Now we need to create a listing of content of the directory my stuff, and we want to redirect this output, the listing output, inside this file, and this file should be inside my stuff. Let's do it. So to create a listing, we can use the tree my stuff. Let's see the result first. So here is a list of the content of my stuff. Now to redirect the output into a file inside my stuff, we will just put the path of my stuff followed by the file, which is called lab2b underscore question5.txt. Now let's go inside my stuff and to verify it, and as you can see, the file is inside my stuff. Let's read the file, and as you can see here, we have the result. Thereafter, we need to move the file 21guns.mp3 into the file or a directory called Green Day. So let's do it. So as we know that this file is inside U2 directory, and the parent of it is music, and the main directory is my stuff. To move files, we will use the command mv. Then we are going to specify the file with the full path. So /home followed by username followed by the directory, which is my stuff, I'm sorry, it's inside lab2b, then music, and finally U2 and 21guns.mp3. Now we need to move this file inside Green Day. We need to specify the destination of this file, which is, again, we will run the same command. I'm sorry, for my stuff, music, and Green Day. Let's click enter and let's tree again. So let's go out of this directory and let's tree it. And as you can see, the file have been moved from U2 to Green Day. Now we need to move this directory inside docs. We will repeat the process again. And the destination of this file, this directory, will be inside docs. Let's verify that. And as you can see, the file have been moved inside docs. Question number 6. We need to delete this directory. Then we will delete games directory and all its content using only one command. Let me show you how we will achieve this. Now first let's delete this directory. So instead of doing this long command, you can first go inside the directory, which is my stuff, music, and then just simply use the command rm. We use it to remove files, but we will use an argument -r, which means for recursive. This rm command is used for files, so it's a must to use this argument so we can remove a directory, which is this one, Van Morrison. Let's click enter and let's verify. And as you can see, we have removed this directory. And we will repeat this step for the other directory, which is games. We want to remove it and remove all its content using this argument -r. So let's go back one directory and do the step again, rm -r followed by games. I'm listing the content of my stuff directory to confirm that we have deleted games directory, and that's it. So first of all, we need to know the argument that will allow us to list the directory and the subdirectory recursively. So first let's access the manual page of the ls command, and let's search for the argument that will allow us to achieve that. Just keep pressing on space till we find the argument. Perfectly, we have found this argument -R, which will allow us to list subdirectories recursively. Now let's quit out of the manual and test our command. Just press Q and let's type the command ls -R. And as you can see, this is the output that matches the image provided. So now we want to redirect this output to a file called lab2_q7.txt into my stuff, which is our current directory. So to do that in a simple way, just use the right arrow, which means we want to redirect this output followed by the file name, which is lab2b q7.txt. We don't need to specify a path. Basically, we are saying that we want to store this file into our current directory, which is my stuff. Now let's do ls again, and as you can see we have got the file. To confirm that we have stored the output correctly, we will just read the file lab2b q7.txt, and here you go. And that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. The last step to do is to retrieve these two files and compress them into a RAR file. So in PuTTY we don't have RAR installed, so you can send that into your Windows desktop and do it manually, or just use a WinRAR tool and then upload it to Model. Thank you for watching.